Yo, what is up, Crockxen clan members and others who have stumbled upon this video? I'm SoresanCrockxen, and as I said before in my, what was it, Mewtwo versus Genesect movie and stuff like that, I was going to do the anime origins, Pokemon origins, when it came out English dub. The first episode came out, and so basically this is going to be a review of that and then comparing it to the Japanese version, because I did watch the sub, so let's get to it. So, right off the bat, I see a little problem, and I mean it's not that big of a problem, but it's still there. Professor Oak doesn't sound old enough. He sounds way too young for how old he looks in the English version. I'm sorry, I have to point that out. Just no. If Professor Oak is an old man. Make him sound like an old man, not like he's 25. But I got past that. I like the voice actor. I don't know who the voice actor for Red was, but I actually like his voice in the English dub more than the Japanese sub, version. This mainly, I mean, they tend to do this a lot in the sub versions where the little boys have like a girl uh, sounding voice, I guess. So Red's voice in Japanese, in the sub version, was a lot more girly sounding than this one. So I prefer this version, um, because in the sub you have Red, sounding like a girl, and then Green sounding like a guy, like a really deep voice, and then this one they're even toned. By the way, I love Green's, well, in this version actually Blue's character, voice actor. I like that they sound even at least. So it's basically the same stuff going on. I was actually concerned how are they going to pull off, because in the sub version, when Red went to pick out Charmander, he said, well, I'm going to pick the fire type because my dad gave me the name Red because in the future he hoped that it would have a personality that was as hot as fire, and all fiery red and all that stuff. So he picked Charmander because of that reason. Professor Oak would ask Green if he was going to pick Bulbasaur because of the same logic. He's like, no, I'm not stupid enough to pick a Pokemon for that stupid reason. I'm gonna go for Squirtle because Squirtle is stronger than Squirtle's a water type, June's strong as fire type that Red chose. So you got Squirtle. I was very intrigued how they're gonna pull that off, because considering in the English version, Green's blue, what were they gonna? They can't just switch everything and make him go for Bulbasaur, because that's totally not what's going on. So I was really looking forward to how they're gonna put it. It wasn't bad wordplay, but they just cut off a line, literally. Like they made it less interesting, I guess, because the way it worked is that Red got Charmander. He said the same thing he said in the sub version. And Professor Oak went and said, "So Blue, I guess you're gonna pick Squirtle because of the same logic." And he's like, "No, I'm not stupid." He says the same thing. He's like, "I'm gonna pick Squirtle because he's the water type." It works, but I don't know. I felt like the Japanese sub version, they did that and it was cool correlation. Be like, no, I'm not stupid like Red. I'm not picking Pokemon because of my color. I'm picking it because it's gonna be better. In this one, they couldn't really use that kind of wordplay, so I was a little disappointed. But I mean, they couldn't really do much with it to begin with. So Blue was still cocky, so I like the fact that they kept that snotty attitude. That the way that he was talking was snotty attitude. Um, so he went out. Everything was the same. Kept going off. I was glad that they did, like, because when I watched the sub version, I don't really know the Japanese names of any Pokemon. Like, I really don't know a lot of them. Most of them I don't know. Um, so when they were fighting in the Japanese version, I'm like, okay, well I know who it is. I can see it, but it's not a name I was used to. So it's kind of weird sounding in my head. But now that it's in English, the fact that it's calling Charmander, use this, and then moves either. I don't know any of the moves in Japanese, so the fact that I knew what was going on, I'm like, oh yeah, I finally get it. Um, so that was cool. Then this is a big one. I was like, what? When Brock shows up, Brock's voice actor is Ichigo's voice actor in the English dub. I'm like, what? What is this? Like, I mean, I guess you could say, the characters look somewhat similar, but really? I mean, I don't know, like, why they brought in Bleach main character to play this. I don't know. That threw me off. I'm not gonna lie, it threw me off. Um, but I like the speech. The speech, is like, do you know the reason for being a trainer? All that stuff. I like. It's still the same stuff. It's just the fact that he sounded like Ichigo completely threw me off. Um, and yeah, that's basically it. Like, it literally is almost the exact same thing. It's just that it's in English. I understood everything they were saying. It was easier to, it's easier to follow because when you're watching subbed animes, you kind of, it's like a split kind of site. You have to be looking at the subtitles while looking at the story over here. Some people can't handle that and they actually like read and then go back and watch. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. So I watched the two things at once. So it's nice to just be watching the story going on and on and on. So I'm going to be doing this kinds of review, just seeing the differences between the original and the sub version stuff. Overall, I like it. I like it. Right now, I do like the fact that Red sounds more like a guy than in the sub version. So I'm kind of pushing towards the dub version. I can't wait to see how they're going to pull this off, though. I mean, you still have Giovanni. That Giovanni stuff, man, that's pretty crazy. So we end off, since it's just episode 1, so we have him with winning the badge. The TM stuff, that was kind of cool. Like, it's a technical machine, I'm like, I remember hearing that so much in the game. So, yeah. Overall, I like both. I was talking to a friend of mine. If this thing comes out in DVD, I'm definitely buying it because Origins is by far one of the greatest things Pokemon could have ever done. So, thank you. Now all that I know we're not over with this Origins, but my friend told me, and I kind of agree with him. We need a gold, silver version. I'm just saying. We need gold, and then have gold fight red at top of the mountain. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm just saying. You pulled off. Hey, you can make Pokemon look like an anime. Give us a gold versus red fight. That's all I'm asking. But anyways, this has been SoresanCrockxen with Pokemon Origins Review Episode 1 English dub version, mixed in with sub version. Battles still look awesome. Like, they didn't change the animation or anything. So, I do want to point this out before we go off. Since I got why Green, in the sub version, Green had a green jacket. Why didn't they give him a blue jacket in this version? Like it would have made more sense. I felt like the reason he had a green jacket was because he was green in the sub version. Why not give him a blue jacket in this version since his name is Blue? I'm just saying. So, anyways, this has been SoresanCrockxen, like I said. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments down below. Which version you prefer? I still like the sub version because there's a lot of cool stuff in there. And we've only seen one episode of the English, so we have to, wait till we watch the whole 4 episodes. So yeah, so leave down below what you think, and I'll catch you guys later. Later.